Differences in streetball rules. I'm Tony. Welcome back to Streetball Strategies.
We are the messengers, came to bring the world down on its knees. So listen up, cause I'm bringing the truth. Young and legendary, we are the youth. We are the sign you asked for to believe. Look at us, we are the proof.
So today we're talking about the rules out here at the park. But more specifically, we're talking about discrepancy in the rules. When you get out to the court and there are different rules and different players interpret them different ways, and what to do when you have differences, when you can't agree on what rules you should follow and how they should be interpreted. Now with the basic rules of like, do you play make it, take it? How many points are you gonna play to? What do you consider being out of bounds? Do you consider like the side of the backboard out of bounds? Me and my friends would always consider the grass out of bounds, not the actual out of bounds lines. Like those basic kind of rules, those are usually pretty easy and pretty agreeable when it comes to trying to set what rules you're going to abide by out here. Really the only rules that can be highly disputed and can cause friction and conflict out here are the rules that apply to fouling, because fouling has to do directly with scoring, and players don't want to have their scoring opportunities messed with. They want to have the best advantage they can have when it comes to how they score the ball. So when it comes to rough play and fouling and what do you call and when do you call it, and are you playing too rough? Are you getting away with calls that you shouldn't be getting away with? Players become very sensitive about that kind of following discrepancy. So that's what we're going to focus on today. Mostly is how to handle those situations, give you kind of a general overview of what to do when you have those kind of conflicts happening out here at the park. First of all, we should start with hierarchy, because there is a sort of a leadership ladder that should be followed and adhered to out here. When it comes to setting the rules and regulations for the game you're about to play, usually what happens is the home court players set those rules and regulations. But what happens when you find yourself at a neutral site, on a neutral court? A neutral court being like a gymnasium, a sort of a big box gym, like a 24-hour fitness or an LA Fitness, something like that, where no one has an actual home court advantage because it's not like it's in their backyard and it's a public venue. In that case, the next level in hierarchy takes place, which is the best players are responsible for setting the rules and regulations. The reason for that is because regardless of if those players have immense talent or not, regardless of why they are the best players, they have earned that reputation as being the best players on the court. They're significantly better than you are, so they should set the rules. They have that power, that responsibility. They have earned it. Are you really going to pass up the opportunity to play with a player that good just because they don't want to play by your rules or you're uncomfortable playing under their rules? You shouldn't let an opportunity like that go by just because you don't agree with the rules. Let them set the rules. They're the better player. Just go with it. It's one of the perks of getting to that level of basketball. Once you're there, you have that power, but also realize that is a responsibility. So once you get to that level, those players, they are the standard bearers. They should be setting the standard for what good basketball etiquette is out on your local court. So that's the ideal situation. That's the theory of what should take place out here in terms of what I consider to be basketball etiquette. But now let's talk about like what you do when you come across the many players on a regular basis that you will encounter that just don't adhere and listen and abide by that etiquette. That brings us to one of my favorite topics on this channel, which is streetball mindset and perspective, because you have to understand when you have the players out here who are intentionally being difficult, who are intentionally trying to disagree and have conflict with the rules out here, it's because they are trying to give themselves an unfair advantage. Those players, you have to understand, they don't have the same goals as you. They don't think the same way that you do. And you can't control any of that. You can't control what they think. You definitely can't control how they behave. Your goal is to play the best basketball you can and enjoy yourself while doing it. Their goal could very well be just to piss everybody off and to cause conflict out here on the court. The only thing you can do is control you, control what you think and how you behave. So if the rules are sporadic and like there's crazy kind of fouling going on where like they're playing super rough against you and there's all kinds of contact, and the insinuation is like you're not allowed to call all that contact, but if you ever accidentally touch them, then they have to call everything. If those are the kind of rules that are kind of like being stacked against you, well, there's nothing you can do about that. You can't make them change their mindset and their intention and the way they're trying to stack the deck against you. In situations like that, you have two choices. You can either choose to stop playing and walk away and either not play with those specific players anymore on that specific day, or you can just leave altogether for the day, or you can choose to keep playing, being fully aware that the rules in which you are playing under are completely unfair to you. To those players playing under and setting those unfair rules to try to let them win more easily and defeat you and get you to they want you to walk away. They want you to give up. They want to frustrate you to that point. Because to them, when they give you those rules, it's lose-lose. They think that it's lose-lose for you. If you walk away, then they win and you lose. If you choose to play with them under those rules, well then you're very probably going to lose that game, meaning they win and you lose. So they think for you it's lose-lose. When in reality, actuality, depending if you have the proper perspective, it is actually win-win for you. If you beat them playing under their absurd rules, then you overcame the deck being stacked against you. But if you lose like you were intended to, you still win because you gain the experience of having such overwhelming odds against you, playing under such unfair conditions, that the more experienced you become with that, the better you will be able to handle that out here. Not only that, one of the biggest main reasons I started this channel is because how you can take things, lessons, situations, circumstances that happen to you out here at the park with random people, you can take those circumstances and extrapolate them and apply them to the rest of your life. In this situation, for this video, it's all about conflict resolution, or at least conflict management. Handling the conflict, making the best out of it that you can. Because in the future, off the court, at school, at college, in the workplace, regularly you're going to come across people that are just irrational. They don't think the way you do. They don't have the kind of goals that you do. They're just not great people, but you're going to have to deal with them anyway. If you learn how to do that out here on the court as a kid, as a teenager, dealing with that in the rest of your life is going to become so much easier. So my advice is, when you come across issues like that, what you should do is keep on mission, keep on goal, keep your perspective in mind. Remember, you are trying to play the best basketball you can and get the most enjoyment out of doing it. So they can set all these crazy rules against you so that they're trying as hard as they can to make it as unfair as they can so that they win and you lose. But what they cannot do is stop you from playing as hard as you can. They cannot stop you from outworking them. What they have done is they have set a situation for you that you usually would not encounter, which is now you have to learn how to compete, how to try to win under circumstances that are meant for you to lose. That is great experience for you to have out here on the court, because it's going to make everything else easier. When you are in fair situations, those fair situations are not going to become easier in your mind because you know what it's like to deal with the unfair situations. It happens out here on the court, you're going to be able to take that out into the rest of the world and apply that to the rest of your life as well. So thinking about it like that, having that perspective, right, it really is a win-win situation for you, because either you overcome the odds and you beat them out here on the court, or you just become a better player and then use that experience as a player to become a better person. The only way that you can lose in this situation is if you lose your cool, if you lose control, if you allow the frustration to overcome you. That's the only possible way you can lose in this situation. Any other way, you stay in mission and you win. The more you can condition yourself, condition your emotions, condition your mind to be able to deal rationally with irrational situations, the better player you're going to allow yourself to be. It doesn't matter what the opposition does. It doesn't matter how they stack the rules against you. What matters is how you choose to react to it. I always chose to allow situations like that to be motivating to me. Like, okay, you're gonna stack the deck against me? Well, I'm gonna show you how I'm going to outwork you regardless. And through doing so, I am going to win this game and hopefully teach you a lesson that you can try as hard as you want to make things unfair, to put them in your favor, and I will overcome because I'm going to outwork you regardless. You will not get to me. You will not frustrate me. You will not make me quit. You are not capable of doing that. Only I control whether or not I quit. Only I control if I'm going to get lazy and start pouting on the court because I'm not having my way, or because things are not going my way and everything's stacked against me and it seems unfair. Only I control that, and I am not going to let that happen, because I am on a mission to be the best basketball player I can be, regardless of the situations, circumstances that come against me out here. So that is the differences in streetball rules and how you should handle them. I want to thank you guys for watching. So I always say this every week about how this is a small channel, how this is a different channel than any other basketball channel on YouTube, because we do not talk about drills. We don't do workouts. It's not about that at all. It's all about basketball advice, obscure basketball advice that the other channels don't choose to focus on because it doesn't directly correlate to how you play basketball in terms of here's the drill you need to do or the workout you should do so you can play like Kevin Durant or LeBron James and get the college scouts and NBA to notice you. We're not doing that here. We're trying to play the best basketball we can regardless of our talent level, though this channel is intended for those of us who have a lower talent level, and because of that we know that we're not going to play college or professional basketball. We're just trying to be the best basketball players we can be, and so we don't focus on drills and workouts. We focus on smaller, obscure subjects that we can then stack together over time and elevate our game in doing so. If you want to go deeper and further than just drills, if you want mindset, perspective, topics that normally, average casual basketball players would never even address or think about, then please subscribe to this channel. We are building a community here that cares about basketball in a way that the average casual basketball player does not, because we go deeper, we go further than the average casual basketball player. So if you want to be a part of that, if you like the idea of that, then please subscribe. And as always, like, share, comment, hit that notification bell so you're notified whenever any of these videos go live. And until then, I will see you guys next week.
Society counted us out. Watch how we count it back in. I'm here to crush all the doubts. Get ready, we about to begin. Gathering up all your friends, we turning boys into men. You cannot stop what you can't control, cause we were destined to win. So call the giants. I got the rock in my slingshot, you know that I'm dying to fly it. No weapon against us, you shouldn't even try it. Get fat if it's sliding, you probably should die.